dad and mom. And
my name is Martin Gooya. I'm from Kenya, East Africa. I was born in the slum of Kamkunji, Eldoret. It was really rugged and you just had to be strong for you to survive. My story actually begins before I was born. My parents had gotten married for several years and they stayed without having a child. And in their community or in their culture, during that time, if a woman could not bear a child, she was considered cursed. Unfortunately, most of the people in the community believed that if you could not consider a child and you were bearing this spell from the devil, it could be contagious. So what they did is that they chased my mom away from the community just because she couldn't bear a child, and so she became an outcast for several years. There was a certain pastor who was praying on the mountains. So this man of God was sent there with a message to my parents to go and tell my parents that God has heard their prayer and God is going to bless them with a baby boy who will serve the Lord in the days of his life. And so when the right time came in 1982, October 9th, I was born. And even though I was a miracle child, a miracle boy, that one did not make me immune to trouble. I used to experience struggle basically in every corner. Whether I went to my bed to sleep, I had bed bugs in my bed that could torment me the whole night. Whether it was walking, I had fleas all over me, dirt all over and just trash all over. Sometimes things and insects come from your neighbors, because the house that I used to live in, it was just a small, I can say maybe 10 by 10, very small house, and it was made out of mud and it was slant a little bit. When I laid down on the floor, I didn't have a bed. I just had a small cloth piece of rag that I used to put down on my floor. When I could lie down on the floor and looking up, I had holes all over the roof of my house, so I could just see through to the sky. I remember when going to school, I used to wake up like 4 a.m. I make sure that I'm already 4 a.m. I'm stepping out of the door, starting my journey to school. And since at home we didn't have food, the only food that we could afford at home was hot water and salt. We have a well outside on the compound, so you go and get the water, and so you come and boil it. I could drink a lot of it, too much of it, just to fill me up. When you're struggling about food, you are not looking for something to enjoy, or you are just looking for anything that will fill up your tummy. So I could drink too much of it. But the reason why I used to wake up and make sure that by 4 a.m. I'm outside and heading to school, it is because I realized that there was a place where the hotels that were around that place, small hotels, they could go to a certain trash and they throw their food that had gone bad, like the bread and just some cookies that had gone bad. I tried to find at least the ones that are not very much rotten. They were all rotten, yes, but I could find the ones that were not very much rotten, and I could eat there. Or if I thought that I was going to be late for school, I could just pile up a lot of them in a plastic bag and I carry it and I go to school walking while eating from it. So every day I could make it late to school just because of going there. Another thing why I used to wake up very early in the morning, it is because I was trying to get there ahead of the dogs. Because sometimes I could get there and all the food is gone, but it is the dogs that came there and ate before I arrived. The way I could numb my pain, I made sure that I sniffed glue, shoe glue, or smoked marijuana. But actually smoking marijuana made me even more hungry, because there's something that marijuana does to you. You just want to eat and eat and you never feel like you're full. So marijuana actually wasn't the best drug to help me numb my pain of hunger. If I couldn't afford to buy marijuana or glue, I could sniff petrol for the car. And the way we did that, you just go with a piece of rag, you go and throw it inside the tank, and it sucks in all the petrol, then you bring it back up and you run away. You had to run away because if we were caught doing that, they could burn you on the spot with the same petrol that you're trying to steal. So it was just risking. All the things that I got involved in with all the drugs, they never helped me like to escape the challenge and the pain that I was trying to escape. Living a life without my father, I was always looking for a father figure, somebody that can help me understand what life is all about, somebody that can teach me how to be a man. Because of the decision that my dad made by abandoning us, it caused me to grow up being a very angry man. I was quick to react. If you could speak anything to me that I didn't like it, I was very, very quick to react. I could hit you with a rock that was anything that was closer to me, I could hit you with it, or just to start contemplating about stabbing you. Me, I used to be in the streets. I slept outside in the streets in most of the verandas, just sleeping outside, but I had a dad somewhere in town. So most of the kids in the streets out there, not all of them are orphans. The bigger percentage of them is that they have fathers who are not responsible. They have fathers who, when their salary is increased at their places of work, they think of increasing other women, like adding other women to their lives. And the more women they add into their lives, the more struggle increases also as far as him taking care of the family. So it forces this guy to relinquish and abandon other people or other kids and just concentrate with the ones who are actually not his, and at the same time he's not really into their lives. He's just there as a male gender. So it's really affecting our generation. I can speak for my generation in Kenya. It's really affecting my generation in Kenya because young men are growing up, but they don't know what it really means to be a man. They don't know what it means to be a godly man. And for that reason, they also don't know how to be a husband. So you realize that the chain keeps going. Like there is a circuit that is never broken just because of that. Every kid in life wants to feel like they are somebody's child. Even grown men, like now I am grown, I have a wife and I have 2 kids, but up to now, I still want to feel like I'm somebody's child, like there is somebody out there who loves me just because I'm their child or I'm his child. So growing up without a father affected me deeply because just looking at the world and wondering, why am I here? Like, why was I born? Why was I born? Like, how come I'm going through all these kinds of tragic occurrences in my life? And okay, who can I turn to when all these things are tough and the situation is tough? I don't have finances, I don't have any support. Who can I turn to? That was the main burden. I used to have a burden that just verbally I can't really express it well, but there is a burden used to be a burden upon me of just wandering around, like, where should I turn to? Or what should I do now? Should I just become angry with the society? Should I just become mad at everybody who's not even there to help me? But then later, after I gave my life to Jesus, I came and understood that we all come alone. That is why even when you die, you are buried alone in the ground. So that is what opened my mind, that no, I should stop complaining and mumbling about not having a father. I just need to be strong, and I need to make sure that I sharpen the other side of life. If this side has been very dark, let me try to sharpen this other side, at least to bring some light on this other side. And so I decided that I'm not going to be a victim of it. I won't be complaining about it. I'm just going to be strong and to pursue my passion in life, which is music, and to pursue the purpose that God has set for me, which is reaching out to his people with the word of God. So And that is what has helped me a lot, just to come to a point of knowing that even though I'm alone, I was born alone, but there is God who's on my side. That alone was enough for me to keep pursuing my dreams and to look forward to the future, the bright future that God has set for me. I'm here to let you know that you're not alone. God is the father to the fatherless. Keep the faith.